Hi disciples, today we're learning the third part of Dawn, the next 7 measures in the series. The part we're learning sounds like this. Lovely. All right, so the first thing you want to do here is to take a look at your left hand, and your left hand is going to be playing an A and a C, and you're playing above middle C. This is middle C, so you're playing the A and the C that's above that. All right, and you're playing these as duples, so even though the time signature is 6/8, so you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the feel of the whole song, but you're playing 2 notes for each one of those beats, each one of those sets of 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is similar to motion you heard earlier in the song, but you can think about it. I've been saying boom daku da, boom daku da, boom daku da, boom daku da, and that doesn't make sense with the left hand yet. But once we have the right hand in, saying that will allow you to put 3 against 2. We've got a polyrhythm here going on. So let's take a look at the first 2 measures of the left hand, and we'll move to the right hand from there. So you've got A, C, and you're playing that with your thumb, and then you've got a G and a C, F, C, and then back up to a G and a C. So you've got this thumb playing the C's every other note, and you're just sort of walking down A, G, F, C. So the left hand. All right, while your left hand is doing that, your right hand, I'm going to try and get you to work this in right from the top. You're playing this high E, so here's middle C, here's another C, here's another C, and you're up here on this E here, all right? And you're going to play that with your forefinger, and the notes that you're playing, I'm going to show you the right hand separately first, all right? So you've got E and F, then you have D sharp and E, C sharp and D, B and C. So you can kind of like think about the target notes. Your target notes are F, E, D, and C, and you're playing the half step that comes before them. There's a rest to begin there, so you see that little 8th note rest. You've got rest, C, F, rest, D sharp, E, rest, C sharp, D, rest, B, C. Now those first 2 measures, if you need to pause the video, go ahead and do that, but I'm going to try and bring these 2 measures together for you so you can start right away. So in your left hand, you've got this A, and then before you hit the C with your thumb, you're going to start the pattern with your right hand. So it's E, and then your left hand plays C while your right hand finishes F. But really, this is where you want to start thinking about that boom daku da, boom daku da. So you've got boom daku da, boom daku da, boom daku da, and your hands are switching notes. Boom daku da, left, right, left, right. Boom daku da, boom daku da, boom daku da, boom daku da. So those first 2 measures, just slow it down and go really slow and say boom daku da, and make sure you get those 2 hands independently first. So I'm going to show you one more time, then we're going to move on. So you've got boom daku da, boom daku da, boom daku da, back up to the G, boom daku da. All right, now after those first 2 measures, you still have this sort of pattern, but look, the hands switch. So the top hand, the right hand, is playing those duples, and the bottom hand is playing those 8th notes in that pattern that's going to feel like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you still have boom daku da going on, but you're switching your hands. So think about just making your left hand kind of like dominant in a way. So you've got, and I recommend playing this with your 3 finger. I'll show you the left hand first. A, so it's just like before. A, C, just like before, except you're going to come up to an F to sort of finish this little phrase here. So A, C, F, and then with your forefinger you're going to play G, and then go back to that C with your 2 finger, and an E with your thumb. You've got an F, C, D, and then you're going to move up to an F sharp and you're gonna still play that C and that D. Oh, I love that F sharp. So let's listen to this together, just the left hand. You can kind of hear that, like, the music is setting you up to kind of go somewhere else. All right. So in the right hand, you have kind of a similar pattern that you had before. It's the same notes. Close to the same notes, not exactly the same. So you can think about it. 1, 2, 3. Boom, da ku da, boom, da ku da, boom, da ku da, boom, da ku da. So the only difference is, instead of your target notes being F, C, F, E, D, and C, it's kind of like F, E, D, and instead of going all the way to the C, you go to this A, which is consistent with the other left hand trying to set you up for the next part. So let's put those two things together. Now the only thing that makes it weird is that the first one isn't really a boom da ku da, because you don't play that first note in the right hand. So it's like, play the first two notes, A, C, and then start your right hand with that 4 on the E there, and then finish that beat, and then you'll be into a boom da ku da. Boom da ku da, boom da ku da, boom da ku da. Okay, there we are. I'm gonna show that to you one more time, nice and slow, because I know this is tricky. Learn the hands independently. And just to make sure I showed you the right hand. E to an F, D sharp to an E, just like before. C sharp to a D, and then you end on that A. So here it is. And what's happening next, your two fingers are gonna cross over in your left hand. You can kind of take your left hand out for a second, and you can move it to get ready in place. It's going to be a little bit lower. Your right hand is going to play a G. And let me show you what the right hand plays, because the left hand is sort of following one note behind. So you've got G, E, C, G, E, C. Just that much. And if you know your chords, it's just outlining a C major chord, starting on G. All right, I'm going to show you the left hand of this same measure, because the left hand just does what the right hand does, a note off. So I hit this G, and then the next note I'm going to play my right hand is an E. When I hit that E, my left hand is going to start with a G, and then it's just going to do whatever the right hand does except one note off. So ready? All right, so then I'm going to an E with my left hand, because my right hand is playing this E. Oh, now I'm going to a C with my left hand. Oh, I can see that my right hand's on a G, so I'm going to a G with my left hand. All right, so and we get to there, and then there's a slightly different part. Now, you want to play this last C in your right hand with your two finger, because that's going to set up the next part for your hand to play. It's one of those motions where your thumb does this, and your two kind of comes over, and it kind of looks beautiful. This whole song, your hands look beautiful playing it. I think that's kind of a goal. So let's see if I can bring this left hand and the right hand together for you. And I'm not going to show you the left hand notes because they're the same as the one before. Just start them one note late. Oops. All right. Now you're going to come up to your to an F with your right hand. You've just played the C with your two finger. You come up to an F with your right hand. Kind of outline this B diminished chord and come back to the middle. So F, D, B, D, and you're gonna drop your thumb down here and start on a G, and you play a bunch of these G's in a row. I might as well show you this end bit here, and I'm gonna give you this little trick to make it look like you're playing it really fancy. You got a 1 and then a 2 finger and then a 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. It's the same note, but you're kind of switching fingers that play them. And that looks beautiful, and I think it gives you a little bit more control too. So let's just get that last little bit in the left hand. So let me play you into that last chunk there. So you've got G, and then your left hand starts with the G as your offset here. Now when you come up to this F with your right hand, you're going to go back to this G with your left hand, And then you're kind of like following the left hand again. So you come up to an F as your right hand moves to the D. And then you follow to the D when the right hand moves from the D to the B. And then you come back up to the F as the D moves back. As this right hand moves back up to the D. So let me show you the the last 3 measures together. Nice and slow. Crossover. Back to that G in the left hand. Following behind. Back up. G with the right hand. Fancy. And then just 6 more. It's like 2 sets of 3. There's a ritardando on the end there, so you slow it down. Alright, so let me show you all those pieces and try to walk you through it one more time slowly, and then that'll be it for today. You've got this A and C in your left hand. That. Cross over to the G here. By itself, now offset. Back to the G. And just so you know what's coming up next. That part. Anyway, I hope this helps. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, rate, whatever, do all that stuff, and I'll see you next time.